Welcome back to 9 News at Noon. We're taking a live look over Lookout Mountain right now. Blue skies, some cloud cover there. It's another dry and blustery day with fire danger for areas around Denver and parts of southern Colorado. And by this time tomorrow, we expect to be talking about snow. Meteorologist Chris Bianchi joins us now. Snow. This winter is always like that long overdue guest, right? Or that guest that just kind of like hangs around at the end of the house party. You're like, okay, come on. Let's get out. It's time to go to bed.
Yeah. You're putting on the pajamas, everything. You're like, all right, get out of here. Yeah. By the way, nothing says snow tomorrow like a 70-degree day in Denver in early April. So for us here today, again, the story, it's nice outside, but we do have that increased fire danger, and we will be talking about snow, as you mentioned here, Jeremy, this time tomorrow. Much colder temperatures, of course, as well. But one more warm day, so if you got a jog, evening plans, looks great to be outside for today. Of course, just keep in mind, avoid anything with a spark outdoors. Of course, no outdoor burning, and especially for friends in the Southeast Plains, we have some of those conditions. If we get any sort of fire start, it could spread quite quickly with winds that could gust up to 60 miles an hour in southeastern Colorado, about 50 mile an hour peak gust for us in the Denver area this afternoon. HD Doppler radar mostly quiet right now. You look off to our north and west, and a big storm moving through Wyoming and Utah, as well as southeastern Idaho right now. That same system moves in after dark tonight. They'll bring us first some slushy snow into the mountains, and then for us here into the Front Range, we'll see that snow move its way on in tomorrow morning, and certainly much colder temperatures as well. But for tonight, temperatures drop down into the upper teens, I should say, with rain and snow moving in late. We'll wake up to cloudy skies tomorrow morning, but it is a chilly night tonight, and that will give way to some of that snow for tomorrow. I'll have details on how much snow, when, and also some more details on some of the mountain snow as well coming up in my full forecast.
I just want to put my winter clothes away already.
I know, right? You want to dust it off.
All righty. All right, thanks, Chris. Firefighters are keeping an eye on the biggest fire burning in our state right now. It grew this morning, too. The last mandatory evacuations for the 403 fire burning in Park County have been lifted. It's burned more than 1,400 acres since it started on Thursday morning. That's a little more than 2 square miles. Containment is now up to 35%. So far, the fire has not burned any buildings, thankfully. Fire officials plan to fly over the area today. And firefighters in Jefferson County are keeping an eye on 2 fires there, too. The Hogback fire is 70% contained. West Metro Fire said it could take days or weeks to get full containment. As of their latest update, firefighters are still putting out hot spots in this one. This one started south of I-70 near Highway 93 on Friday. Firefighters say downed power lines caused this. And up north of Golden, the Jeffco County Sheriff's Office says the Bear Fire was also human-caused. That fire burned around 7 acres last night, but it's now 70% contained. And finally, the Stove Prairie fire burning off of Highway 14 in Larimer County is settling down, and firefighters are continuing to mop it up today. It started on Saturday east of Rustic and burned about 33 acres there. That fire is now 75% contained. We've watched as massive wildfires devoured forests, and historically we've also seen those forests recover and eventually grow back. It's Mother Nature at work. Unfortunately, Mother Nature is getting harder. Her job is getting harder. That's according to some new research from CU Denver. Researchers found forests are not recovering from fires the way they used to. And it's all because the fires nowadays are too big and burn too hot. The seeds needed to regrow the forest are actually often destroyed.
If you have even one really dry, hot year after a fire, in the first 5 years after a fire, usually means very little regeneration. The seedlings die. They're pretty sensitive.
The study indicates that reducing the size and intensity of wildfires will be key in the future, and the way to do that is to reduce fuels through prescribed burns. Communities across the country are dealing with the aftermath of devastating storms and tornadoes over this weekend. Storms killed at least 30 people. Wynne, Arkansas was one of the cities facing a lot of damage after a tornado hit on Friday. The storm killed 4 people and injured 28 more. It also closed roads and wrecked buildings. Another tornado caused a roof to collapse at a music venue in Belvidere, Illinois on Friday night. It killed 1 person and injured at least 48 others. In New Jersey, several areas were hit hard. The National Weather Service confirmed at least 4 tornado touchdowns in that state. No injuries were reported, but thousands of people did lose their power. More severe weather is headed to the southeastern states. A tornado watch has been issued today for parts of Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. Former President Donald Trump is preparing to appear in court in New York City tomorrow. He's expected to face criminal charges in connection to a hush money payment made before the 2016 election. NBC's Jay Gray has the latest from Manhattan.
Well, former President Trump traveling from his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida to New York today, set to play his part in the history unfolding here. Tomorrow afternoon, he's expected to surrender to authorities here in Lower Manhattan. He'll go through the criminal booking process, then stand before a judge to face multiple charges in the case involving hush money paid to a former adult film star after an alleged affair. Mr. Trump would be the first to serve as U.S. president and face criminal charges. The former president has blasted those charges and the process on social media, leaning on his familiar claims that it's all a politically motivated witch hunt pushed by liberals as he makes his third run at the White House. Security here is growing with the possibility of huge crowds and protests tomorrow. Streets are being locked down. All 35,000 New York police officers are on alert. The Secret Service and FBI are on the ground here as well, and will be until the president leaves New York. He is expected to make a public address back in Florida sometime late tomorrow. That's the latest from here in Lower Manhattan. I'm Jay Gray. Back to you.
First Lady Jill Biden landed in Colorado last night, and this morning she joined Democratic Governor Jared Polis to talk about investing in community colleges and workforce training programs. The First Lady applauded the bipartisan effort here in this state to propose a new free job training program, saying it would help staff essential worker positions across the state. Her event today focused on expanding the traditional pathways post-high school beyond a four-year degree. She touted the president's new infrastructure law, noting it will create new jobs. You need skilled people to build bridges and roads, she says. And she praised Colorado for being a pretty good example.
This state is already a model for our country. And today, I want to thank you for your leadership and ask you to keep going. Keep innovating in how you help high schools and colleges work together so that every young person in your city can take advantage of dual enrollment options and get a jump start on a degree.
Next stop on the First Lady's tour is Michigan. Later in the week, she's then headed to Maine and Vermont. Armed police are coming back to East High School as students head back to school this week. Also ahead, an electric new plan to cut Colorado's emissions.